All right, welcome. My name is Robert Lamb, and if you would like to put a face to the name in the bottom right corner, I do have a picture of myself. So today we will be talking about the impact of culture on the emergency management planning and response. So let's dive right into it, and I hope you enjoy. All right, first off, we need to establish what is culture. So a direct definition is the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other group. So think about the culture that we have all around us, whether it's in just our class alone, in our school, in our city, and then from there, our state, our nation, and then worldwide. Culture grows exponentially. We have pieces and parts of every single culture in all different locations, a lot of representative groups, or even just individuals, their families, their friends. Everybody around us is part of some sort of culture, and they represent whether it be language, rituals, customs, practices, etc. There's a couple examples on the picture I have provided of just some different means of culture. So, second bullet point, countless cultures, languages, and groups. Um, you know, our community is made up of different cultures. Everywhere you look, you're not going to have a community without different cultures, different types of people. They come from different ethnic backgrounds, different locations, different beliefs. We together as a community are built up of different cultures. I also added in that culture equals freedom. We live in America where freedom is pushed to another level. Expression of culture is freedom in itself, allowing each and every one of us to stand for what we believe, who we are, and the people that share the same space as us in unity. So culture overall represents us. So the importance of culture, especially in disaster relief. Um, Tension relief in the community is going to be very sought after. Um, Correction, not having tension is going to be sought after. So the relief of it is basically the do or die for disaster recovery. History itself, the communities who understand each other are the ones that allow for the fastest and smoothest recovery. Tension is not wanted when trying to overcome a disaster or a community that has been struck with some sort of horrible event. Um, I added in all in one and one for all. Basically, that stands for the total picture. We as a community together, we can't be a community with us all separated. So, also, the open mindedness and understanding of others feed into each other. You want to have an open mind. You never know the beliefs or where somebody comes from in your one community. Of course, unless you talk to them, but you want to go in with an open mind, especially in a time of need. You never know what that person is going through, whether it be as an individual, their family, or even their part of community being, hurt maybe more than yours or hurt just as much. But everybody is going to need different key roles and different help to overall recover. So, keys to quick recovery. What we have is disaster preparation by public group leaders. So, I have some examples here ethnic, race, religion, national origin, economic status groups. All of these are different groups that, in one, represent the community and need to basically establish their roots in disaster planning. So when it comes down to it, making the plan for a recovery, whether it be for a flooding, for a hurricane, for an earthquake, a tsunami, those are just a couple examples. But in the preparation, leaders or heads of each individual group need to make, some of the necessary statements that they need to make for how their community or how their separate group is going to be affected or the special things that they may need. Everybody requires different necessities, in key role of recovery, and are dependent on different things for, how fast their recovery may come about. Also, communication. This is probably the most sought after key element, on top of course, necessities like supplies and such. But community is going to be what gets the communication is going to be what gets the community um, relief the fastest. Communication is one of the most important parts of a quick recovery. No matter the means, a community that is on the same page is a community that understands each other's. Different area, people, and groups will go about disaster relief depending on how they were affected differently, but communication on all levels allows for overall coverage and smoothness. I added in also for the government aspect because communication, especially nowadays with the media, is a key factor for disaster relief. The community, the government, whether it be local, state, or federal, needs to be on the same page as the people. Without the people being on the same page, the questions start to go, and that's how people start to fall out against their own government, thinking that they are not going to be getting the help that is necessary. So with today, the means of media and ease of spreading access and ease of spreading information needs to be a top priority, on top of getting supplies to the affected areas, and whether it be evacuating them, giving food, water, setting up shelters, etc., etc. These are all keys to quick recovery, especially when it comes to culture, because everybody and each culture, each group is going to be a little bit different, even though everybody is the one being affected by such circumstances. So today, in summary, we talked about what is culture, the importance of how culture pertains to disaster relief, as well as the keys to quick recovery as a community. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and gave you a little bit of a outline summary of how culture is affected in disaster relief, and that concludes my presentation.